What up, everybody, and welcome to Baz on Blades. My name is Baz, and I talk about blades. Today, we're going to do an update video, and we're going to focus on my knife making. I'm getting a lot of questions as far as my knife making goes, and I'm going to take some time to answer those. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the business model that I'm going to use, and a lot of this information is tentative. It may change, guys, but this is pretty much what I plan on doing. And first of all, before I get into this, I want to show you something. I did the review last week on the Kershaw Emerson CQC 6K folder, and I really like that knife. It's a great positive review, great budget knife. I strapped this thing to my KME last night and put a new edge on it, and there really wasn't anything wrong with the factory edge. It was just sort of coarse, but it was sharp. And anyway, I strapped this thing on the KME. Let's see if we can get this, because this knife is really hard to get on camera under my lighting, and it's just very hard. My lighting is too direct. Now I've got the KME basic diamond system, and I added the 50 grit beast stone to reprofile, and I sharpened that up through 1500 grit, and then used my now world famous cardboard and flitz polish strop system on it. If you're interested in that, then I've got a video of it posted on my channel, and took it to a pretty decent edge. I'm fairly new to the KME, and I'm still learning on it. There's a couple of spots on this sharpening job that I wasn't super happy with, spots that I missed in my grit progression. So I mean, it's sharp, don't get me wrong. I'm still learning on that. I'm gonna leave that there so you got at least something to look at while I'm talking. Now, as far as knife making in my business, I have not decided about my business name yet. I do not know if I'm going to use my actual name, because there is a maker in Australia, I believe, with the last name Baz, and I believe he is using his name as his maker's mark. If he is, I will not be able to do that. He is an already established maker, and I would not step on his toes, even though Baz is my name. I may have to go with something else. I'm still working on that. Now, I'm getting questions about my knife making, and really the most predominant question is, do you have anything done? Do you have anything done? Do you have anything done? And the short and simple answer to that is no. I don't have a damn thing done. And the reason is, as a lot of you know, last month I basically lost my income. I lost my job. And this is the worst time of the year to find a job. I'm struggling to find anything. Even places that you'd think would be hiring are not right now. So all of my income, whatever it is going towards bills and car payment, rent, whatnot. I don't have the money to put into my knife making, and this is a new business. Every little thing that you need to make knives, I'm having to buy brand new. Because years and years and years ago, when I got into knife making, I was just using cobbled together junk to make knives. And I was using scrap steel, and I was just doing it as a hobbyist just to do it. I wasn't selling anything. But this time around, I'm looking to do a professional level product that I can sell to people. So I've got to buy all of this crap. I mean, if I need to clamp a knife down, I've got to go buy clamps. I don't have clamps. If I need to drill a hole, I've got to go buy drill bits. If I need to do a certain finish on the knife, I've got to buy every little thing I need to do that finish. The handle material, pin material, abrasives, adhesives. I mean, every piece of equipment, everything I'm having to buy. So it's going to take a little while. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, optimistically, I don't look to have finished product until the springtime. But it is coming, and there's going to be some work in progress stuff in between now and then. You guys are going to get to see some of my designs. You're going to get to see a little bit of how I'm setting my shop up, if I can get my shop fixed, because a tree fell on it and it's still not repaired because the landlord is lazy and won't come out here and fix it. But there is going to be progress. Now, the second question I get is, how do I order a knife from you? I'm going to say this. Initially, right now, my set plan is this. I will not be taking orders on my knives. The reason being, and I've seen this over and over and over with freshly starting, beginning knife makers. You start out and you're working from a shop that may not be a professional quality to do high volume work. You are by yourself and you are developing your skill set. And what happens is, if you get a design out there that catches people's eyes and it becomes popular, you get flooded with orders and you get overwhelmed. And when you're a beginning knife maker, they're not full-time knife makers. I will not be a full-time knife maker. That's an impossibility. I'm going to have to work a full-time job, and my knife making is going to be in my spare time. If I take orders and I've got a design that catches people's eyes and I get orders for 200 knives in, there's no way I could keep up with that. I couldn't keep up with orders for 50 knives. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to totally avoid that pitfall right there. Another pitfall is communication. Outside of the quality of your product as a maker, there is nothing that hurts your business more than being timely with your product and communication. A lot of customers expect you to be immediately available at all times for communicating with them. And if I'm working a full-time job and then I'm making knives as fast as I can in my spare time, I don't have time to sit by the phone or sit by the computer and answer questions and reassure people that their knives are in progress. I'm just not going to have time for that, guys. That's a realistic viewpoint. I've seen too many people, their hopes and dreams dashed because they came out as a knife maker and were overwhelmed, and then the next thing you know, there's people all over the internet slamming them because they can't get their product from them or they don't communicate fast enough. And the issue with the internet is, once you develop a bad reputation, it is damn near impossible to get rid of it, because no matter what you do, if anybody does a search on you or your product, not only are they going to bring up new information, they're going to bring up old information too. So that negativity is always going to be out there, and I want to totally avoid that. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to do batch work. The first design that I'm doing is a small Kiradashi. The first batch of it will be probably 12 knives. That way, what I can do in batch work is, and I've learned this from my experience in manufacturing, I'm going to work with templates and I'm going to work with jigs. And everything is going to be hand ground and hand finished and blah, 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 because I'm never going to have any CNC equipment. I don't even have a real knife maker's grinder. I'm just having to do with a 2x42 belt grinder. So everything's going to be hand done. But if I can do templates for a model, I can cut all my blade blanks at once, no matter what materials I'm using. I can cut all my handle scales, rough cut them all at once. And then I can repeat that over and over and over. Because, if it's a popular design, I'm not going to stop with one batch. Now, this first batch of 12, I'm going to offer in different finish levels with different materials at different prices. Now, it's the same knife, but it's going to be available with different finishes and different price levels for a wider range of customers. There's going to be a base level, And now, between all of these levels, the fit and finish will be absolutely the same. There will be no difference in fit and finish quality. There will be differences in materials, finish types, and that is going to make up the difference in price. Say my base level is going to be an O1 tool steel, which is a proven steel that I can heat treat myself, and G10 handles with nickel pin material. All right, out of these 12 knives of this batch, is say if I do half of them, 6 of them in O1, I can do the same finish on the blade, but I can do different colors of G10 on it. So I've got 6 knives laid out for sale that are the same thing, but they're different because they've got different colors of G10 on them. Now, 2 other of the knives, maybe I will do at a more refined finish level with a little higher end handle material. And that may be continuing with the O1 tool steel, but maybe I will do it in a hand rub finish, a hand rub satin, and I will do that up to 1500 to 2000 grit. And then maybe for a handle material, that will get micarta that I can polish, and it'll get mosaic pin material. And that gives you the same knife in a more refined finish with a little higher end material, handle material, pin material, and a more high end look to it. And because those materials, there's not a huge difference in price between micarta and mosaic pins and G10 and nickel pins, there's not going to be a huge price jump. I'm not going to sell the base model for $100 and then the next level up for $150. That would be ridiculous, and I'm not going to do that. Basically, the price increase will just be to cover the cost of the materials. And then the third level, at this point for my premium models, I plan on only using Damascus. I will probably use Alabama Damascus. It is a quality Damascus in common steels that I can heat treat myself again. Alabama Damascus has a very good reputation as far as their material goes. Now, say I do this Damascus, and then I'm going to upgrade the handle material. Maybe I will go to a carbon fiber handle scale with liners under it for some contrast. I plan on doing at least one out of this first run as a premium, and it will be in Damascus. It will have burl ironwood handle scales with copper liners and mosaic pins. And that will be beautiful, guys. And unfortunately for everybody, I'm keeping that one. It will actually be my showpiece if people want to see one of my pieces. Now, so this batch work, it'll enable me to, I make the 12 knives. I've got 3 different price levels, 3 different levels of materials, multiple different finish types. It's essentially the same exact knife. I can do the blade blanks as a batch. I can do the handle scales as a batch. I can finish as a batch. It makes it much more streamlined and efficient for me as a lone person working. It gets an entire batch of product that's absolutely finished and ready to ship before it goes up for sale. So my customer base will be able to get their product immediately. I post it for sale. People come in, they pick what they want, pay for it, it ships. There is no wait for anything. And I think that probably is going to be the best business model for me to keep me sane and to keep my customers happy and to keep my reputation good. Now, as far as pricing goes, guys, I'm going to lose money on all of these knives. I am not right now my business model is not a for-profit business. And I know that seems backwards. You know, you have a business for profit, but I am a little more realistic about beginning a business. I do not expect to make profit. I only expect to not lose actual money that's put into it. Now, I'm going to lose a ton of money on my time. Say that, you know, my last job I made $16 an hour. So if I use that as my standard for my time, if I have a knife that is a base model I sell for $100, well, just my time at $16 an hour is probably going to equate to about $200 on that knife. So if I sell it for $100, I've already lost $100 in time. And that's not even counting the cost of tooling, abrasives, materials, things like that. As long as I can sell these knives, build my skill set, and build up a reputation, and the money I make will cover the cost of materials and allow me to roll some money over into the next batch to pay for materials, that's all I want to start. I don't want to make a lot of money off of my customers to start out. I don't have any plans for that. That's just not the type of person I am, and it's not the type of business that I want to have. So, again, for those of you that are following this, that have been supportive of this, I thank you. It is coming, guys. Just please give me a little bit of time. Please understand that I am starting from nothing, and really right now I have nothing to invest in it. It is coming though. I am constantly working on this, and I may probably next week I'm going to unveil my first design for this little Kiradashi that I'm doing. I call it the Future Dashi. I'm going to unveil that design, and I'm going to go ahead and do a short video of me cutting the templates for it. I'm going to use some stainless stock, some sheet stock that I have, and I'm going to cut templates for this knife, and that way when it's, you know, once I do the batch, I can always come back and use these templates to cut blanks for subsequent batches. So you'll get that video. You're going to get this new design, guys. Let me know if you think that is a good idea to bring out this design. Without saying anything bad about anybody, and I understand the knife world and the copying knives and cloning knives and all of that jazz, and I don't expect that with my stuff, first of all, because I'm nobody from nowhere. Nobody's ever heard of me. But do you think it's a good idea to reveal this design 2 or 3 months ahead of actually having the product available? Is somebody going to steal the design? Would my revealing of the design prevent somebody from stealing the design? You know, if I put out that design right now, it's out there with my name attached. It's an original design. Anybody that comes along, you know, they are stealing the design. And again, I'm not super worried about that. I'm not widely known, and nobody cares, you know. It's not like knives are a new thing that there's so much originality going on in, and it's a Kiradashi is sort of hard to do something original on because it's such a basic design. So let me know what you guys think about that. If you got any questions, then in the comments, guys, put it in the comments. Down in the details or the description, I'm going to have my contact information. If you want to contact me via email, feel free to do that. If I I mean, just anything, guys. Right now, this is pretty much the only thing I've got going on in my life. And if somebody wants to talk to me about it, I've got all the time in the world right now. If I'm not out looking for a job, I am sitting at the house conserving money and gas in the car. Since I'm a dumbass and I got a car that only gets about 17 miles per gallon and takes premium gas only. So, anyway, hit me back up about this. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch one of my videos. God bless all of you, and we will talk to you again.